Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. Today is Monday, May 28th, 2018. The time is approximately 11:11 p.m. And in the United States, today is Memorial Day. And tonight is also the night before the full moon in Sagittarius, which is the sign of mysticism and expansion. I want to give you a quick full moon magic tip. Regardless of actually two quick full moon magic tips before I begin the topic of this video. First, the night before a full moon has more oomph. It has more power and it has more energy. So you might want to consider engaging in your full moon rituals the night before, because that has more power and energy. And regardless of the full moon sign, every full moon symbolizes love and abundance. So if you want to increase the amount of love and abundance of good things in your life, that is a great way to do that, especially because how I was taught is that the night of a full moon is already a waning moon. And I must admit, I've noticed that when I've looked at the full moon on the night of a full moon, she doesn't look as full and as rich to me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But anyway, one of the things that I have... Well, first of all, guess what I'm drinking? Yes, Café Bustelo. It had been so long since I'd had any Café Bustelo on screen. And of course in my Spirit of the Bear mug. So, as many of you know, I've been doing a lot of catch-up with my videos. So now, what I am going to do is catch up with, and I love, love, love this. Yes, Llewellyn's 2018 Tarot Calendar. Insights, Spreads, and Tips by Barbara Moore. So we're going to talk about April. Let me show you April. Now, it would be very easy for me to say that Isis, the alpha female, had a hissy fit, hence this big scratch. But I think, I could be wrong, but I think what more than likely happened was that either Corey the Calico was trying not to lose her footing when she went down from where this was to to the floor, or Durga the kitten decided to like, you know, act like she has a rocket pack strapped to her back. And yeah, there you go. Scratch. So I'm going to start with the symbol. So there are a few different sections here. There's a little bit about the Temperance card. And of course, I love that it depicts the Temperance card from the modern Spellcaster's Tarot. And yes, which I have now. And then of course the symbol, which is the Crocus, a Life of Alchemy, and the journal. So I'm going to start with Temperance first. Traditionally, this card shows a winged angel, namely Archangel Michael, or also known as Saint Michael, who balances his divine nature with reverence for God. Likewise, Hermes, and you can see his winged sandals here. They can see the winged sandals, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Likewise, Hermes, the Greek god of communication and speed, is unique among the Greek gods, balancing his divine nature and his love of humankind. I've always felt that the Temperance card is not so much about balance as it is about divine balance. And I find that, generally speaking, major arcana cards are about higher levels. They're about spiritual forces. So I know that in a lot of tarot decks, the Temperance card symbolizes balance, but I think it's more like divine balance or divine order. It's like, okay, what do you, and I look at it from this perspective. You know, when I see the Temperance card, it's like, okay, what is it that's preventing you from manifesting heaven on earth? Are you doing too much of this? Are you not doing enough of that? And usually it's like a this or, like this or that, high or low, joy or sadness. There needs to be a midpoint. The symbol is the crocus. Irises often appear in this card, representing the goddess Iris, who is very like Hermes. Barbara Moore got that right on the mark, because it just so happens that Iris, who is the Greek messenger goddess who rides the rainbow, is also the ancient Greek goddess who, according to Hellenic lore, assists women in their transition from human life to afterlife. And like Hermes, she is a goddess of communication. So Iris is the feminine counterpart of Hermes, and by nature of her being a communication goddess and a goddess of the afterlife, like Hermes, she is a psychopompos. She is this messenger between the dream time and the void, or rather between the physical realms and the astral realms. Hermes accidentally killed a friend and turned him into a crocus, which now symbolizes transformation or renewal. And of course, it's not a coincidence that a lot of crocuses and a lot of irises are purple. Those of us who are happily recovered Catholics, and those of us who are recovering from the slings and arrows of Christianity, are well aware of the fact that we usually see a lot of purple around Easter. A life of alchemy. Temperance means self-control through moderation, but it is more magical, more dynamic than that. The alchemy of life is subtler and requires one to pay attention to circumstances, environment, oneself, and desired goals. A balanced life usually includes time each day for work, rest, and play. However, training for a marathon, studying for an exam, or planning a large event may call for more concentrated focus, for more time and attention than usual. Yes. And as somebody that recently led my very first Divine Prosperity simulcast event, yes. Temperance is about the right parts coming together in a magical way to create something wonderful. Like alchemy, it is the transmutation of lead into gold. Hermes, oh, this is scratched, so I can't tell what the word is. Hermes something is the crocus, see symbol. We saw the symbol. And it is alchemical, the creation of something beautiful and alive from something that was dead. Also, his connection with medicine is a similar alchemy, bringing about healing from sickness. Now, I find it interesting, and I'll tell you why. So, the ancient Egyptian counterpart of Hermes is Tehut. Tehut is the ancient Egyptian god more commonly known as Thoth. Tehut, which is his ancient Egyptian name, is the ancient Egyptian or the Kemetic god of communication, of writing, of intellect, and of wisdom. And he is credited with creating the hieroglyphs of the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, alphabet. But here's the interesting thing about why I'm saying this. The original name for Egypt is Kemet, which is derived from Al-Kemet, which means of the black earth or of the black sand. And in today's language, the word Al-Kemet or the name Al-Kemet is known as alchemy. By the way, it's interesting to note that most words that begin with the letters A-L are derived from Arabic. Alchemy, alcohol, Alvarez, yes. Now, pardon me. Some say temperance is boring. Who says that? Come on, who says that? Really? The temperance card is boring? I don't think the temperance card is boring. But they miss the magic of this card. Think about the Wheel of Fortune, horizontal like a playground merry-go-round. That's life, and you are on it, spinning, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. The closer you are to the center, the less you feel the effects of the spinning. Temperance is the center of the wheel. It is a dynamic balance that keeps you steady. When was the last time you were thrown off balance? And what can you do next time to stabilize yourself? And I invite all of you to do that. This is in the section for journal writing, for journaling. So I'm going to ask those questions again. When was the last time you were thrown off balance? And what can you do the next time to stabilize yourself? So off the top of my head, the last time that I was thrown off balance, literally, I don't remember. Figuratively, I don't remember. But I'm going to say, just to make it easier for myself and for my awesome audiovisual person, the last time I was thrown off balance was this past January. And I was thrown off balance because it became crystal clear to me that something that I had avoided doing, I could no longer avoid doing. And what brought me back to balance and harmony was finally doing it. And the thing that I had resisted doing, and the thing that I felt extremely uncomfortable doing, was having the surgery to have the AICD implanted in me. And I can honestly say that since I've had this device in my chest, my life is more balanced. My life is more harmonious. I am healthier, especially physically healthier. And I must admit, I do get this really delicious thrill about knowing that I will never need to walk through a metal detector ever again for the rest of my natural life. I mean, really, I do not, I mean, if I was at an airport right now, I could just show my card and they'd be like, okay. Do you know how many bitches would be jealous of me for that? Ooh. Seriously. I mean, I'm not one of those people that's always on a plane, but can you imagine? Anyway, so I invite you to inquire into yourselves as to what you do to be on balance, to be balanced. And to answer the other question, you know, I find that in the short term, to regain my sense of balance and harmony, I take a moment to breathe. I actually will go, like let's say for example, I'm in public, then I will go someplace where I can like be as much by myself as possible. Like instead of like a busy avenue or street, I'll go to a side street and like, you know, go into a deli and order something and then go into the bathroom and hide. And if that isn't an option, then I'll just go someplace, and if there's a building that I can walk into and stand in the vestibule for a few seconds, I can just compose myself. And in the long term, I have a sacred solitude sojourn of 3 days, of a minimum of 3 days. That always helps me regain my balance. Oh, always. But that's another topic for another video. In the meantime, I look forward to working with May, especially, and the rest of the calendar, especially since we're going to start June in a few days. And May has a really great spread. And I've been excited about the spread since I first saw it, but I'm not going to tell you anything now. So thank you, YouTube, as always, for honoring who I am and what I do. If you have not already subscribed to the YouTube channel of yours truly, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, I invite you to do so. Please make sure to click or tap on the bell icon. That way you will receive a notification every time I upload a video. Also, if you have not already scheduled your reading with me, whether it is a reading for an in-person reading at Notions and Potions on Saturday, June 9th, 2018, from 12 noon to 6 p.m. From 12 noon to 6:30 p.m., or at Catland in the store, or by phone via Catland, or by Skype via Catland, I highly recommend you do so. I have less availability in June. I have a lot more availability in July. I have a lot less availability in August than I do in June. And I also Not sure about September yet. I'll have to take a look. But I want to wish all of you a beautiful evening, and may tonight's bright moon in Sagittarius fill you with adventure and excitement, expansion, and mystical delights.